Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Malifaux. And we see Lilith fighting some more gremlins, this time led by Ophelia. She's being piloted by the Dice God. And I do enjoy playing this guy, because we really speed through our games, and usually manage to get 2 done in the time it takes me to finish 1 normally. And that is all down to him, because I'm that guy that's like, what if I do this? Oh no, but I should think about that. Which must drive some of my opponents nuts. That it's a bad habit and I'm trying to stop it. But anyway, this was a fun one, and first game back after holiday, so let's see how it goes. My opponent won deployment, and chose to set up in this corner, like so. We've got 3 Bayou Gremlins, one of the new Wave 4 Gremlin models with a banjo, whatever they're called. Another Wave 4 model, a Swine Cursed, young LaCroixs, Ophelia, with Dirty Cheetah and a new upgrade called Do-Over. If I can make her that fucking tiny writing, it gives her an ability to once per turn discard a card when she's shot into an engagement, and then instead of going through the duel, if it's not to her liking, she can take the action again. She also gains another ability whereby she can discard this card at the start of her activation and draw 2 cards. The ubiquitous Slop Hauler, Sammy LaCroix, with Hooch Igniter and Pork Whisperer. So it looks like an attack that can do blasts and something to make pigs better, I imagine. And finally a War Pig, with the new upgrade 1 Pig Against the World, which seems to be a 0 cost, so maybe it's one of these new fix the model upgrades. And I'll be damned if I can read that. But it works something like the 10 Thunders Recall Training, where it discards the card and gets positives to all its duels and probably something else. My crew, I wanted to do an all Nephilim list, but I chickened out at the last minute and went with some crutches. So I've got Primordial Magic, McTavish, the Woldgeist, Doppelganger with Retribution's Eye, fat lot of good that's going to do. A young Nephilim because I want to grow and mature, Barbarous, and Lilith with Living Blade, Becca Malifaux and Rapid Growth. Low on activations, but I hope it can be pretty killy and maybe disincentivize Hunting Party. So my plan is to have McTavish and the Doppelganger in these buildings, shooting anybody that tries to stand around the informant marker. My opponent has a lot of minions, and weak ones at that, so that's a no-brainer for Hunting Party. Barbarous is going to stand right here in the centre, challenging everybody, and beating gremlins out of the scoring zone. When I designed this crew, I originally thought that McTavish was my highest cost model, because of the Merc tax. But my opponent kindly pointed out that you don't count that, so I'm a little bit worried about Barbarous being a quick murder target. But fuck it, it's done now. And I've noticed that this rock and impassable building form a very nice little cubby hole for Lilith to hide in. Wicked vines all the gremlins for Barbarous to push out, and at some point, hopefully rather early in the game, snag that War Pig, soften it up, and have the young Nephilim put it down. I reckon there's a good chance that's his frame for murder target, but the quick murder points are just a bit too easy for me to get, so I'm just going to hope he's trying to mindfuck me and hasn't taken frame for murder. Primordial Magic's just going to look back here all game and give me some more cards. Turn 1, happy days. I love Russia Magic. Things start off, cagely with me moving the Nephilim up, moving the Woldgeist up and putting up some terrain, and Barbarous going out and shouting at people to just control any surprise first turn pot shots. As usual when it comes to gremlins, I'm really not too sure what most of them really do. I know the Bayou gremlins have got a gun that can do blasts. I know Ophelia's probably pretty good at shooting, and I reckon with defense 6 and soulstones and cover and armor 1, Barbarous is probably best equipped to take any straggly first turn shots. Banjo guy pushed pretty much the whole crew forwards. And I've only got 7 activations in my crew, and I don't know how many he's got. 10, I think. So I'm being pretty heavily out-activated. I've got McTavish up into this cover. I've brought the Doppelganger around because I've realised that over here, where I was going to put her in the other building, Lilith's little fortress was going to block anything she could do, so she's going a bit further forward and exposed than I'd like, but at least she'll have some field of view. Lilith herself has moved up, put down her trees, and I think she wicked vines that gremlin. And that's essentially how things end up at the end of the first turn. So we've got the Bayou Gremlins and Banjo Gremlins coming around the side. There's also this were-pig model bringing up the rear. And then it looks like we've got the big hitters coming towards Lilith with the pig, Sammy, Ophelia, the slop hauler. And Ophelia was particularly rude and decided to shoot through my blocking blocking illusionary forests. But Lilith swatted the bullets out of the air like some vampiric Nadal with breasts. Turn 2, I stone for cards and end up with an obscenely good hand. This is almost embarrassing. So I reckon this turn's going to be pretty fun. My opponent gets the initiative, and the War Pig shows what a lover of young boys it is. Discards its card of craziness, walks into the illusionary forests, and then uses its one action to charge. Sweet, sweet Lilith. Thanks to having such a godly hand and spending a soulstone for a mask, Lilith disappears on the first attack and evades all damage from the Wayward Porker. So as it's come to me so willingly, let's put the plan into action. The young Nephilim charges, and I'm positioning him so I can ping-pong the pig around and let Lilith get free attacks from the Thirsty Mandrake ability of her big sword. So for my first attack, I hit and do some damage and push the pig 4 inches towards Lilith, so he stops here. Lilith attacks and does some more damage. Pretty sure she severes, and the pig's looking fairly ropey. I attack again, but thanks to its positive flips, I miss. The plan would have been to then push it into contact with my base over here, and Lilith could have got another attack had it managed to survive that. So we've got Sammy moving up to jinx Lilith. Honestly can't remember if I let it hit or not. I might have, and then bled on the pig, or I might have stopped it, I just don't know. The Waldgeist has walked up and killed the pig, which it could see through this tiny gap, and set down its forests again. Good Waldgeist. So it looks like Lilith then goes a little bit later, and basically I'm worried about Ophelia just ignoring my cover again. So I root Ophelia, walk around to here and set up my forests, leaving the young Nephilim to its fate. Not actually sure that was a very good move, because it looks to me like Ophelia might still be in range, and if she can shoot through my forest, then why can't she shoot through my rock? Maybe it's because Sammy's in the way? I don't know. It was probably a bad use of Lilith, and I could have done something better. I would have liked to charge through into this group and take my chances, but I don't think there was a way for me to get past Sammy to do that. Anyway, I feel like there was more I could have done from that position. So yes, Ophelia goes, and the inevitable happens. She guns down my Nephilim. There go my hopes of a mature. But at least she then can't do anything with her final action, because she's stuck in brambles. Barbarous then runs around over here and challenges everybody, and things get a little bit messy. I think the doppelganger moved up and took some shots at some Bayou gremlins and probably fucking missed. I think he must have probably played for time by moving some other gremlins around. I've got my what's it called, Primordial Magic's just moving up here to get close to the action. It's not going to be able to do anything, but what the hey. I've tried to correct my mistake with McTavish. So because these are the walls themselves are impassable, I had to eat my scheme marker to push over here and then walk him around so that at least next turn he can be in position to see something. As where he was in his nice defensive cover, he was being blocked by the forests and all my models, and yeah, that was getting frustrating. And then it's all my opponent's turn, so he's moving other things around to get into position. The were-pig charges the doppelganger, and he hits pretty hard, so she's on about half damage now. And that's how we end the turn. So I've scored 3 points for quick murder. My opponent scored 2 points for frame for murder on the Warpig. Looks like I've missed out on hunting party this turn. And we both score for the objective, which then moves over this way, because Gremlins like inbreeding. Turn 3, I stone for cards again, but that's a much more modest hand. Can't win them all. I think I won the initiative. The doppelganger went first, attacking the werepig or swine born or whatever the hell that thing's called 3 times with McTavish's attack, but I failed to bring it down. I don't actually know the pig's stats, so I don't know if it would have been better to copy its attack. Probably not. I could have left her and relied on her manipulative, but that's leaving things for my opponent to decide, basically. I could have used her other zero action to put him on negative flips, but then he just needs to decide to focus and probably kill her. So I thought offense was the best defense, and it didn't quite work. He's pretty damaged, but yeah, now I'm going to have to take a werepig to the face. And she does! A few scratches taken, but she's still standing, so Barbarous loses no time in activating, challenging everyone, and then beating the werepig thing to death. I forget what it's called, Swineborn, something like that, with his ridiculous sword. I've nimbled over here to try to push it into range of Lilith's sword, but I couldn't quite get the angle, so Barbarous just took it down himself. Banjo Boy has moved in, tried to target the doppelganger, but was distracted by Barbarous's challenge, and the middle turns into a gigantic clusterfuck. I can't quite remember, the order things went in, but basically these gremlins went around the side and started shooting at the doppelganger, and she fended them off. We had the slop hauler run around and throw slop all over the doppelganger, and that was really worrying because I do not want my guys to be tasty, as that will mean certain death, but she survives again. I was so lucky with her. My wild guys charged into the centre and I think damaged the banjo player. I think McTavish decided not to eat the scheme marker that somehow got placed down there. Because I didn't have the card that would allow him to take a shot. So instead I walked him up, attacked something, probably missed, and then dropped my hunting screen right in the middle, as I want to try to protect him and the Waldgeist as much as possible. Lilith has charged in. She killed the banjo player by jamming it down his throat fat end first, and then she tangle shadowed the Bayou gremlin and swapped it for Barbarous, so Barbarous could get in to engage Ophelia. And my mind is completely blanking on what she tried to do this turn. Maybe she shot through the rock at McTavish? I honestly can't remember. I do know that Barbarous's challenge ability was fucking amazing this turn, and it really threw off a lot of my opponent's attacks. Primordial Magic is safe and sound, by the way, in this building. So we both score for the strategy this turn, drawing, I think, so the marker stays where it is. I've scored for Hunting Party, and that's just a picture of Lilith smacking shit up. Turn 4, the cards like me! I think I cheated the initiative with all my high cards. Doppelganger went, copied McTavish, shot and killed the Bayou gremlin for Hunting Party, thank you very much, and then probably shot and wounded Mr. Sloppy. And speaking of Mr. Sloppy, Ophelia goes, runs around Barbarous and shoots Lilith for 12 damage. Fuck. Given my hand, I've got no idea how that happened. But it did. I think I must have drained my cards pretty badly on Doppelganger's activation, and that is just shit card management. So Lilith gets hit by Ophelia's jugs and dies, and then Ophelia beats on the Waldgeist, but it proves rather more durable. So that wasn't very good. So I think McTavish activates, eats the scheme marker for... I think he gets a heal, and shoots and kills the slop hauler. The Waldgeist hits something, it's pretty ineffective. And then we take a ton of shooting and casting attacks, most of them aimed at McTavish, and his hunting screen is fucking gold. And I think in the end Barbarous runs around here to try to get into black blood range of as many as possible for when they eventually start to try to hit him. I mean, he's turned blue from all the screaming and curses he's been doing, and no one's been hitting him. How odd. So we end this turn both scoring and drawing for numbers around the informant, so it stays where it is. My Waldgeist is pretty badly injured, and McTavish has been taking a lot of punishment, but his heal was really helping that, and I think I'm now out of soul stones. Turn 5, ooh, I'm paying for my luck in previous turns. Ophelia gets the initiative, she swats the Waldgeist, charges McTavish, and kills him, I'm pretty sure. Barbarous goes and kills the Bayou gremlin, completing my hunting party, and the game pretty much ends there, because shock horror, he's got take prisoner on Barbarous. And there you go, kids, that was the end of a rather hard-fought game. Turns out Ophelia is a bit of a freight train. She killed everyone in my crew but Barbarous, the Doppelganger, and Primordial Magic. But to the scores. The Neverborn scored 3 points for a quick murder, 3 points for Hunting Party, and 3 points for Extraction. The Gremlins scored 2 points for Frame for Murder, 3 points for Take Prisoner, and 4 points for Extraction, making this a 9-9 draw. This should have been my game if I'd used my cards better. I thought Barbarous had Ophelia pinned around here, and I just did not expect her to come in and kill Lilith like that. I thought the time was right to go in aggressive, and I don't think I was wrong. I think card management did me, and positioning of models and terrain is usually something I could do better. It was annoying I couldn't have McTavish here in safety shooting into the combat, because having such low activation, low model count, meant after the first turn, if I'd done that, then the marker would just be moving over here and he'd be stuck out of range. I probably should have seen the take prisoner coming earlier on Barbarous. But man, I've got to say, his his challenge is so damn good when the enemy has incentive not to target him. Really soaked a lot of damage from the rest of my crew. And perhaps I should have been using him more to knock models out of the scoring zone, but he was scoring me VP with his minion kills, so I mean I can't really complain too much about that. Anyway, really fun game. Raw and bloody, just how we like them. So yeah, so until the next one, guys, take care.